Hello folks, I'm Dean with Dean's Woodworking. Y'all come on in the shop, make yourself comfortable. Today we're going to turn a gnome, but not just any gnome. This gnome has a secret. Stay tuned and see what it is, okay? Now you will notice that I have got a piece of pecan in the chuck. We're going to split this, and this is going to be the bottom part of the gnome. This is going to be his head up here. We got a little bit of crack, but I think that's going to turn out. And so let's go ahead and get started. For you folks that like to know what the dimensions are, let's go ahead and get that right now. So right now, the overall length of this piece of wood is just about 8.5 inches. When I measure the diameter, we're looking at between 2 5/8 and 2 3/4 just to give rough dimensions, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to part this in two. And normally what I will do is I'll raise the handle of that parting tool to get my start. Kind of does a scraping cut, so then it doesn't give you a lot of tear out, and then I will lower the handle and go ahead and push that parting tool right on through. Then we'll take our thin parting tool and we'll go ahead and work that on into there. Okay, so remember I said this was the going to be the hat. We're going to hollow this hat out just a little bit, okay? So we've got our hat hollowed out a bit. We're going to turn the speed up just a little bit. And I'm going to come in with the skew and just do a straight in cut. And you guys will see what that's all about in a few minutes. Now that we've got that done, we'll go ahead and take this top and we'll start to just do a rough shape on it. Now I want to show you guys what I'm doing here. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, you guys heard the vibration. The reason for that is I am putting too much pressure against the chisel. When you put too much pressure, that causes it to vibrate and causes those ridges you see there. Now, normally you wouldn't want that, and the hardest thing to figure out in turning is not to put too much pressure against that bevel on the chisel, because you will get those ridges. It's especially difficult when you're doing bowls, but once you figure out exactly what causes it and learn to master it, you can learn to control it. So that's what I'm doing here today, is putting a little more pressure, causing those ridges to pop up, giving that hat a little bit of a three-dimensional look. And as you watch, see with my thumb is just pushing in on that chisel, causing more pressure on the chisel against the wood than what should be there. And that's going to cause those ridges to continue to form. I'm going to go ahead and continue to bring this down. Again, continuing to add that pressure to the chisel just a little bit. And those ridges will kind of taper off in there. And what I'm going to do from here, once I get this completed, I'm going to part this off and we'll go ahead and turn the bottom. I'll just start to form the ball that's going to be at the top of the hat there. We'll finish that up once we flip everything around. I'm going to go ahead and part it off at this point, and we'll start working on the bottom. Okay, now that we've got that parted off, we're going to go ahead and make a nose with what was left off of the top, okay? Not a lot left, but there's plenty to make a nose out of. So let's go ahead and get that done. Again, we're just going to take a peeling cut. We're going to decide what size we want our nose. I'm thinking that's a little big. Let's go with that for our nose, and I know somebody's going to want to know exactly how big that is, so let's just check it for them real quick. It is basically 5/8 of an inch. So we will take our spindle gouge and we will just round this over, and we have the outside shape of that nose right there. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. Now we're going to come in and we're going to just take our spindle gouge and make that inside shape of the nose. And folks, I don't make my noses exactly round, so it's not really a ball. I kind of leave a little flat area there. And we'll take our parting tool. And folks, if you look at a parting tool, you hold that thing at a little bit of an angle, you can use it just like a skew, only on a smaller scale. Got that down to about 1/8 of an inch. We're going to come in with some just 220 here and sand that nose just a little bit. You don't want to get too aggressive with it because you have cut that down to 1/8 of an inch there. Let's find the 320, and we're going to just, again, we're just going to sand that just a little bit. It shouldn't take a whole lot of sanding on a nose like that. Okay folks, we're going to go ahead and part this little nose off. Now, just a fair warning, hold on to that tight. If you drop it, you will never find it. So we'll drop it in the cup so we know where it's at. And this is the bottom of our gnome. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our skew. We're just going to come in and take a couple of cuts here. Reduce the size of our bottom just a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work this down until our hat fits on top of the bottom. Now this will take a little bit of time and consideration. You don't want to rush it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just take it a little bit at a time. Again, each step man, we got lucky with that. Folks, I will never tell you I'm good enough to make that cut and stop it to where it is a perfect fit, but it is a perfect fit. That was pure luck. So now all we have to do is bring this back and see how we're doing here now. Okay folks, we have that in there to where now we can come in and we can finish off this little ball. So we have finished our top. Now all we've got to do is come back in and finish the bottom, and we're going to do that right now. Again, just work it off of there. And you see our top is finished. We'll set it right in here, and we're going to go to work on our bottom. Now we're going to bring this over just a little bit. Okay. Okay folks, at this point we're going to use a Forstner bit to remove some of the material from the center. Just checking my depth there. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I want to double check. Always a good idea. Another good idea is to always back that out ever so often. Okay, we've stepped up to an 1 3/8 bit, and we're going to go ahead and drill it out. That'll eliminate a lot of hollowing. And now we're at an 1 5/8 Forstner bit. Again, we're just going to ease that on in there. All that does, folks, is eliminate a whole lot of hollowing and speed up the process just a little bit. Okay, so we've done pretty much all I'm going to do with the Forstner bit. We're going to go in with the ball mill hollowing tool that we made a couple of months ago. And we're just going to basically thin this wall out here in the center so that it makes it equal all the way up. And I believe that's probably all the hollowing we need. Okay, that's the thickness we want. Now I'm going to spend some time sanding this out. I want a nice smooth interior as well as exterior. So I'll be right back when we finish that. Okay, folks, we got the interior sanded out. You can see that looks pretty good. We did have one little spot right here that's going to fit up into the lid that basically popped out on us. Some of this wood is just a little bit punky. I thought it'd be fine, but we did get that one little chip, which really won't matter. If I was selling this piece, yes, it would matter, but this one will be a gift, so it will be just fine. So we've finished our sanding inside and out. We've got it hollowed. We've got our hat fitting well. We have our nose turned. We just got to figure out where exactly we want to put our nose. So let's take a look at that. I think in this case, normally when I have a little color, I'll put it to the back. But I think in this case, I'm going to put that to the front. Okay, so we're going to use the 1/8 inch drill bit to drill this. And let's see if his nose will fit in there. Well, look at there. Okay, folks, so that's our gnome. I'm going to take him in and put a beard on him. We're also going to put a little hair on the back of this one. And I'll be right back out to show you folks what it looks like. And I think some of you have already figured out the secret he's hiding. But I'll let you see that as soon as I get back out. We're going to go ahead and part him off and take him in and put a beard on him, and I'll be right back. Okay, I decided to go ahead and put some Minwax antique oil finish on this. Now normally with the gnomes I use a spray lacquer, but remember I said that this wood was just a little bit punky. That means it will absorb enough spray lacquer to fill a bucket. With the antique oil, it will soak in, it'll saturate the wood, it'll make it a little bit stronger, and we'll get a finish a whole lot quicker. here's what we've got. I've just got it sitting on the lathe, kind of spinning slow right now. Just really soaking it down with that antique oil finish. This is one of my favorite finishes. And the reason being is you can put it on like this, wipe it off, and you have a nice satin finish. However, if you put it on and leave it on and let it dry, you'll get a very high gloss finish. Very versatile finish. So I'll be right back here in just a little bit and we'll go ahead and part this off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and part this off now. Okay, so we've got it parted off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand that off. Okay, we got the little gnome finished. He's ready to go in and get a beard and get some hair. We're going to move inside and go ahead and get that done. And I'll show you the process of putting the beard on him and getting some hair on him, okay? Oh, the secret. Yes, he does have a secret. You saw me hollowing it out. We're not going to glue his hat on. It will come on and off. That way, whoever ends up with him has a nice little storage place to hide some small valuables. Once he's got his hat on, setting on the shelf, nobody will be the wiser. We'll be right back and get him a beard, okay? Hello, folks. So we're in the studio now. We've got the gnome apart, and we're going to go ahead and put the beard and the hair on him. I have done a strip about a 1/2 inch wide for the hair on the back of his head, and then we've got the little piece for his beard, and we're also going to put a couple of eyebrows on him, or a mustache. So let's go ahead and we'll get started with this. I've marked the center of the piece of the beard piece, and we're going to line that up with the hole for the nose. So we'll line this up. I will hold it. I'll flip it up here. Sometimes easier said than done. And we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue right there. And that way we can stick his beard down. Okay, so now that's got his beard glued down. We can pull back the sides a little bit. And we can add a little bit of glue right along this edge here, just so it doesn't come loose on us. And we're going to push that right back in and do. Should I remind everyone that hot glue is hot. So when you touch it with your fingers like I just did, it will get your attention. Okay, so we have got the beard glued down. Nice little beard there. We're going to take an awl here. And we're going to find where the nose was. So if you remember in the little ornament video, we cut a slit there. But if you take your time, you can find where that hole is with the awl. And so now we can simply push the nose right into that hole there. So we have no slit, no opening, and his little nose is looking good there for him. Alright, now we're going to come in, we're going to add just a little bit of eyebrow right here. And again, don't forget, this is hot glue, it's going to be hot. Okay, so he's got a little bit of character now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come right around here on the back side of him, and we're just going to give him a little bit of hair. We're going to pick up right where the eyebrows leave off, and so we're going to trim it to length right here. And again, we're just going to come in with the hot glue and put just a little dab right over here on this one edge. And by doing that, we can get that edge started there. Now we can just come in and we can put us a little dab every once in a while around him right there. And we have his hair on the back. I think he needs to have his beard combed just a little bit. We can put his hat on him. Okay, so we got the little gnome put together. He's got his hair on the back, and yes, it probably needs combed a little bit. He's got his beard and his eyebrows, and yeah, we may do a little bit of trimming on those. Once you put his hat on, he's looking pretty good. And remember, the hat comes off, so you've got storage for valuables inside this little guy. And who would ever guess that this little guy could be hiding anything? But remember, he does have secrets. Folks, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy turning.